How's it going, guys? It's Anthony Kugis with Mountain Wave Fitness. Today we're gonna do a warm-up. We do this before anything we do: surfing, biking, walking, and today what we got is jogging and hiking here on the trail at Stevens Park here in California, specifically Santa Barbara here. And what we're gonna be doing here in our warm-ups is we're gonna be thinking about warming up the whole body. So this is a full body warm-up. So we wanna basically go from head all the way down to our feet. Okay, so what we're gonna start with is neck rolls is the first thing we're gonna do here. So neck rolls, we're thinking about moving side to side from the shoulders here, right in the front of the body, right? And we're not gonna put our head back, but keeping it in the front. So we're going from the side to side, we're stretching it out here on the side up here on the upper traps. And we're coming all the way down, keeping the chin tucked in. And I'm holding it here side to side, moving really slow, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Going side to side here. Once we're done there, we're gonna bring it right to center and lift our head back up. Now we're gonna do our shoulder shrugs. These are classic. So we're breathing in as we come up, exhale on the way down. So breathe in and then exhale. So we're rotating backwards right now with the shoulder shrugs. And then coming forward. Again, all these we're thinking about is around 10 to 15 reps each, or just kind of doing enough where you feel kind of warmed up really well. Okay, once we got the shoulder shrugs, we're gonna come out here, extend our arms fully out, nice and big, fingertips all the way out wide, palms facing up to the sky, and we're going rotating forward here. Nice small circles, 10 times forward. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, 10 times back here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then nice big circles here. Again, you can think about even reaching with the toes here, get nice and big. Again, think about breathing. We really want to think about breathing when we're doing all these exercises because it's helping warm up internally. Okay, so nice and big, rotating forward. Okay, once we got those guys here, we're gonna do rotator cuffs here. So this is rotation, this is external, internal rotation of the shoulder. So we're keeping our hands nice and flat and rotating back and forth. You can move nice and slow in the beginning, kind of feel the muscles activate, and then you can kind of start speeding it up here to add a little extra warmth in there, a little bit more movement. Now we got that 10 times here. We're gonna close the gate, okay? So the hands come and the elbows touch together, okay? And then breathing in, exhale. 10 times here. Once we get 10 of those reps here, we're gonna come into have this feel cold position. Now we're gonna come into a pull-up position, bringing the hands right here. Imagine if you had a bar in your hand, squeezing it with your fists here, and then reaching all the way up to the top, up to above the head here, so your fingertips touch, and your arms are fully locked out. So don't do this. I want you guys to make sure you guys are doing this here. Okay, again, make sure we're no bent arms here, or hands out in front. We want the hands right by the side, right here. Okay, so keeping it up nice and tall, coming all the way down, thinking about as if you were pulling up on that pull-up bar. Once we got that guy there, now we're gonna go into big circles here. Fingertips are at the hips, and we're coming all the way up to the top. Breathing in and exhale. Breathe in, exhale. Nice big circles. Reaching up. There we go. After we got that guy there, now we're gonna have palms facing forward, bending from the hips here. Now we got flies or wings here, thumbs pointing out. Our head is straight down here, so the head's straight down. Out to the side 10 times there. Once we got 10 times there, now we're gonna go into big, what we call swimmer's hugs here. You see this with a lot of the professional swimmers in the Olympics, like Michael Phelps. We're coming up through here, big nice hugs here, reaching up, letting the arms loose, keeping the head down, back is flat, shaking those guys out. Once we got that, we're moving from the hips now, so we worked from the neck, we got the shoulder joints, and now we're starting to work on the hip joints here and going further down to the leg. So now we're moving from the hips, moving back and forth here, breathing in, exhale, all the way to the top. 3, 2, 1. Once we got 10 reps from the hips, now we're gonna think about moving laterally here, side to side, getting the external part of our leg there, moving side steps here. starting small, and then you can get into bigger side steps here with bigger hops here to get a little bit more resistance. Again, you think about here, nice and small, go 10 and build up from there. Okay, once we got that guy there, we're gonna move from our toes here. So now we got our hip joints, and now we got our ankles here. We're gonna be rotating up, back and forth here. Back and forth on the heel. So you're on your heel is like this here, toes here, we're going back and forth here on the heels, rotating back and up. Nice and smooth, really warming up the shin muscles. So you should feel it in the front of where your shins are and the calves. So that's what we're trying to warm up there, making sure those guys are well activated, and we're really working on the toes. So those are some underrated muscles that we don't often work on. So after we got those guys, now we're gonna go through bringing up nice high knees here. These are classics. So bringing up, arms and the legs are now working together. We're thinking here, moving through. You can do this stationary or walking. Either one's fine. Again, bringing up nice and tall. Again, raising up the legs. Think about pulling this toe here. Think about the toes not pointing down, but pull it up. Start working that shin muscle a little bit more here. We want to make sure that's a very strong muscle, especially for runners, joggers, and walkers. Shin splints are a big issue, so we want to prevent that, and having injury prevention exercises is amazing in our routine, especially for our warm-up. So shin muscles are important to warm up. So we got those guys. We're moving through here, going forward. Now we're gonna go into heel kickers here. So we got the back side here, moving from the heels, working on the hamstrings, not just the quads there. Again, think about breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring up the heels. Again, you guys can do this going on a long distance. It can be stationary, wherever you're at. You can do this either way, it doesn't matter. I prefer moving, but for the sake of the video, stationary is just okay. So once we got those guys, we're going into our last standing exercise here. This is called a single leg toe touch here. It's really simple, but very hard at the same time. So think about pulling the toes up here. Again, the same thing like when we do the high knees. Reaching out, opposite arm touches the opposite knee. So again, opposite arm touches the opposite knee, and we're coming down, reaching, touching the toes, touching down, and bringing back all the way to the top. Going again, 10 reps on each side here. Breathing in, exhale, exhale. Again, think about nice tall posture at the top, keeping that back flat. As we go down from the side view here, this is what it looks like here. All right, so we're bringing up nice and tall here, palms flat, and we're reaching down, touching the toe, reaching all the way up. Again, this back leg's locked out, heels pushing back, pulling that toe forward as well for that shin, and I'm reaching all the way up to the top. My back leg, this bottom leg here, that's working. So this guy that's on the ground, I'm really thinking about moving from the hip here, so I'm squeezing my glutes right now to make sure my whole core, my abs are engaged, nice and tall. I'm not sitting back here on the spine. I'm sitting up here in a good posture. Everything's sitting right over that hip joint and right into my heel and the ball of my foot. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, reaching down all the way up to the top. And there we go. That concludes the standing warm-up. No equipment necessary at all. Again, this is Anthony Kugis with Mountain Wave Fitness. Thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. Enjoy. Leave some comments, anything below. And let me know how this worked for you guys. Go do it. Have fun. Go get outside. Enjoy life. Blessings. Aloha.